During the second half of the 15th century, Catalonia underwent a social uprising called the remences revolts. It ended with the victory of the remences peasants and the abolition of the feudal obligations and humiliations. Since the 11th century, the feudal lords excessively controlled the peasants and their families. They were also subjected to the abusive malus, feudal obligations and humiliations. Among other things, the peasants could not abandon the farmhouse, if the lord did not agree to free them. Apart from being physically abused, they also had to pay extortionate taxes to be able to work the land of the lord. At this point in time, Verneuil became the leading figure of the uprising and was followed by the peasants demanding justice and freedom. Born in Val d'en-Bas, he managed to build a small army which quickly grew in number, since the peasants who joined Verneuil's cause had the help of the other peasants who stayed in the villages working the land, with the promise to take care of their crops while the war was on. Right at that moment, the Catalan Civil War started, in which the royalists who supported John II of Aragon and the Catalan constitutionalists, Catalanists, Pactists and Foralists disputed the extent of royal rights in Catalonia. Verneuil joined the king in his war and was appointed royal captain, which gave him more power. However, an aspect that might explain why the peasants wanted a revolt was the castle of Hosteles, taken by Verneuil in 1463. The remences leader fortified it and turned it into a safe place. Later, he did the same with the castles of Puigcerdà and Colort. The war went on for years, but in 1471, Verneuil took Girona with the vital support of the Finestres zone. Only a year after the Catalan Civil War, the remences peasants thought that John II would abolish the malus, but that did not happen. They had to wait until 1486, when Francesc de Verneuil ended up securing, through an agreement known as the Sentence of Guadalupe, the abolition of the tax and the feudal abuses and injustices. There, he became a hero, and even today we can find a statue built in his honour. In the villages like Val d'en-Bas or Sant Feliu de Pallerols, we can also find many elements that remind us of him. Schools, streets and shops show that Verneuil is still loved in these lands. After his victory, Verneuil stayed in the court, and he later retired in Sant Feliu de Pallerols, where he lived in the farmhouse Mas Claperols, near Sant Miquel de Peneda, and also in the fortified house he had in the centre of the town, where he died around 1499.